Okay, we're live.
Alright everyone, welcome to my first session at DMing for Blades and Blasters. I'll be your host for tonight, Demi. And introducing my players, let's start with you, Ghost. Who are you? What are you doing here?
This one is Kothar. I am from a tribe of what you call lizard people in the north. My tribe is gone. They are no more. There is only survival for the predator. These two that I travel with, the green one and the short one, they are useful to survive. I am useful to help them survive. This one is a predator. That is all there is.
Excellent. Now, next up's a big guy of the party, you know? The soul, if you want to refer to him as. What are you doing, Doc? Who are you? Why are you here?
Okay. I am Ronak. Ronak was looked down upon when he was young. Humans did not like Ronak. The orcs did not like Ronak. The humans saw him as savage. The orcs saw him as weak. I needed to find a place that would accept Ronak for who he is. Ronak ended up joining the religious sect, worshipping the Helm. And it is through the Helm, learning protection of those weaker, protection of those that are different, and protection of those that cannot help defend themselves, that Ronak found his calling. He now seeks a place where he can be accepted for who he is, and he seeks friends that he can call family. Ronak is with these two. Maybe one day they will be Ronak's family.
Alright, and rounding up this nice little misfit group, what are you doing, North? Why are you here?
Well, Ballister Belmore travels the lands using his magic to help those who are in need, misguided souls who do not know the truth of power, that is. Also, he happens to have a penchant, you can say, for slaughtering greenskins, mostly because they're smelly, but also because they killed his whole family when he was a youngling. Well, his whole family, his whole village, of course. Now he goes from city to city, following the words of his god and slaughtering greenskins, until one day he happened upon these two wayward travelers.
Great. So, that's our party for tonight. Just a bit of a preface. At the beginning of this, it's going to be, Doc and Ghost are going to be traveling together. Doc, is Ronark's name correct?
Ronak, yeah.
Ronark. So Ronark, being a believer of Helm, has just finished up with his cleric duties, his training, and now has been assigned a task in order to prove to his church that he's truly one of them. So he's been on the look for a place where he can he's trying to going on a quest to prove that he can defend the weak and the helpless when they need it. Before your travels, but not too much prior, so you met Kothar, who, like you, probably isn't in the best relationships with the humans and probably orcs. Lizard folk aren't exactly common among the residents of this world, at least interaction-wise. They usually stick to their own tribes and do their own thing, keeping to themselves, sticking out of trouble. Maybe that's why you two hit it off, became associates. He sees you as this nice, strong cleric who can protect him, and in return, he does what he can to help you out in your time of need. Does that sound like a good assumption, or?
Yeah, seems good to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Mutually beneficial relationship.
Oh yeah, symbiosis. So, in your quest to prove yourself, you're going to be heading... You received orders from the higher members of your church that there's been an influx of farmers and merchants and people of the town of Orlane have been leaving their village, which had once been very prosperous for its rich soil and whatnot. Many of them have been leaving the town for unknown reasons. Whenever they're questioned about it, they don't bring it up. They talk about how it's just better to not be there at the current time. And they sent you to investigate this matter. They want you to check out what's going on and how you respond to those orders. Were you satisfied with this? Do you want something grander?
Those are worthy orders. Ronak shall proceed to the town and find out what is going on there.
Okay, and Kothar, will you be joining him on this, I'm assuming?
This one will follow the green one.
Great. So, you guys leave the city of Brule, is where you went through your cleric trainings, and you're on the road to Orlane. Orlane is stationed between Brule and the port town of Luca. So, many merchants travel through this path, making Orlane a great spot. You know, it's right between a city and a port. And we'll take you there now. So, a couple days traveling, you and Ronark are along the road. This is a caravan trade route that's often traveled by merchants and whatnot, going from Brule to Luca, stopping by in Orlane. Mostly an uneventful trip so far, but you come across along the path 2 horses absolutely slaughtered, blood everywhere.
The air smells of iron. Do you smell it?
And Ronak kind of lifts his face up into the air and his nostrils flare. I do smell it. There's death ahead. We shall proceed.
This one will follow. And I would walk towards the horses, just sort of sniffing around. Hunter's instinct kicked in, trying to figure out what happened.
Okay. As you approach the horses, the gruesome scene becomes more clear. You can get a nice good look at them. A quick one over, they appear to be like stagecoach. They're very strong-bodied, or they were rather. Now they're just corpses. If you want to give an investigation roll, you can get a further look on them.
So Ronark kind of looks around the area. What's investigation again? I'm sorry, where is that?
So if you open your sheet, right?
Yeah, it's open.
It's below intimidation on your skill list.
Okay.
Right, so it's investigation if you want to check out the horses, but you said you're looking around. That'd probably be like more of a perception roll if you're just like searching the area, not investigating the horses.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's the same roll, but
I would immediately look, at the horses and investigate what's going on there. And after kneeling down and kind of putting my hand in the blood and picking it up to my nose and smelling it, again sniffing the air, then I would look around the surrounding area.
Right. So, Kothar, these look like delicious meals. Other than that, you don't really gather much information from them.
And
Ronark.
I lean down and just bite out a chunk.
Ronark kind of gives him a side glance and shakes his head. Ronark,
on the other hand, from your investigation, you can tell that these horses have been dead for what appears to be definitely within the day. They're fresh kills.
You are lucky. These kills are fresh.
This one could eat meat even if it was not fresh, but it is all the better for being fresh. This
So-
one will not eat much more.
So Ronark wants to inspect the wounds and see if he can try and figure out what exactly caused the wounds.
Right. So if you're that was the investigation roll. If you're inspecting the horses,
Oh, okay.
so through your investigation, you're able to tell that there seems to be gashes along the neck and the bodies of the horses. So some sort of a slashing object.
Okay.
But the cuts aren't exactly straight, you know? You're no detective, but it doesn't seem to be the sharpest blade that was used.
It looks as though someone may have taken a sword to these horses. We better keep our eyes about us, our wits about us, and our eyes open.
And I'll look around and sniff the air, trying to sort through scents. See if there's anything around.
Okay. Yeah. With that perception roll, you're able to hear off in the distance the sound of like small feet clattering on the dirt road and heavy breathing, panting really. And if you look around, you'd easily be able to see. Ronark, you're distracted otherwise. A goblin running, absolutely terrified. He's battered and bruised. He's not currently carrying any weapons. He's just sprinting through the thicket.
And I would look over, my eyes would, sort of squint and then perk up and get right down into fighting stance and look, the north. And I would be heading towards it to try to snatch it up.
Okay, as you get into your stance and you point towards the north, from behind the goblin, there's a small figure chasing after him. That would be you.
Come back here, piggy.
What do you think, pray tell, is going on there?
This one's next meal runs ahead, and I would just flat out towards it.
Okay, if you want, you guys can give me an initiative roll real quick. So I'll open up the turn order. You click your token, and you click initiative. Ignore that.
This one is not very fast.
Alright, let me just add that in there. So, Ballastar and Ronark, who has the higher dex modifier?
2.
Dex modifier is 1.
Right, so currently, what was that, Doc? You said you had 2?
I have 1.
Oh, sorry. So, Ballastar, you're up. First in the turn order.
Okay, so how far is the goblin from me? He's like right next to me.
Oh yeah, you are right on his tail, really. He's been sprinting for his life. You've already gotten a few licks in.
So you could see Belmore begin to conjure some magic, but as he notices the 2 other gentlemen standing there, the magic dies and he reaches for his blade and slashes at the goblin.
Okay, 16 hits. Give me a roll.
And just for you guys wondering why it's a +6, Hex Warrior allows me to use my charisma instead of my strength or dex for the modifier.
Wow.
Hey, it's
Just
pretty
roll
good.
damage.
Yeah, it's like on the long sword.
Just before we start, I know this is a dumb one to always ask. Unless it's implicitly stated, do you add your strength or your charisma in my case to the sword damage, the bonus?
Like base damage, yeah. If you're using a versatile weapon, right? So
Yeah. So I'm saying, would it be like 1d8 plus my charisma
yeah,
bonus?
just
'Cause
click
my-
on longsword and it should roll it in for you.
Yeah. Versatile means you can use it with 2 hands, so it doesn't mean dex or whatever. But yeah, you can,
Sorry, that's
if
finesse.
you click on longsword,
Like in the chat,
in the chat, it would roll your damage for you. It should roll your damage correctly.
in the chat.
Yeah, if you click, if you hover over your longsword there, if you click on it, it'll roll your damage based on what you have input. No. Like
you know where we're typing stuff, right?
Yeah.
If
yeah,
you go
so-
over
so-
there,
Where it says longsword.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
yeah, it'll yep, there you
There
go.
you go.
All right.
alright. So
Yeah, and it did your charisma, so yeah, it's working right.
on his last throws from the previous injuries he had sustained trying to flee from you, you take a slash. You can describe how you kill him.
So, Ballister Belmore kind of dives, kind of reckless dive and slashes off one of the goblin's legs. The goblin starts screaming in its own language, probably throwing curses.
But Ballister stands up, pick
The blade.
slams into its skull.
Oh yeah. Blood gushes, gurgling noises can be heard for a brief moment before it's all silent. And with that concludes the completely epic warranted music battle. So now there's a goblin corpse in front of you.
Ballister looks at the corpse, looks at it longer, but then he glances at the other two and decides he walks by it, but the whole time staring at the goblin corpse.
Hi, little one. What is it you're doing out here chasing that goblin?
Well, if you saw a goblin, wouldn't you chase it? They are dirty greenskins, after all.
I don't know if I thought I saw a goblin running. I think I might just let it run.
Yes, but then it'd run into a village, and then it would have, well, let's say make love, and then make more goblins, then they'd make a camp, and there'd be more goblins. It's best to kill them all as soon as possible.
Very well. If you feel you must have killed the goblin, then you've succeeded. The goblin is dead.
Yes, that one goblin is dead.
Which way are you headed, little one?
Well, I'm just headed down one of the trade routes. I have to go to a village. One of my kin apparently are in trouble.
Well, not to assume that you need our help, but we are traveling in this direction here. If you'd like to join us, you may.
Well, if only for a little while. I can't see the harm.
And you, Kothar, what is it you plan on doing with that goblin?
I would look over my shoulder at the goblin. The green one has many cooked foods in his backpack, yes? And referring to you.
I have rations aplenty.
This one prefers to have his meals raw. Goblin does not taste too bad.
Well, with a little work, he could. And then Ballister just shuts his mouth. Anyway, I'm actually going to a small village. I'm sure two muscled-bound men such as yourself aren't headed that way. So I guess our walk will be short and pleasant.
And I would look at the little one and then look at Ronark. Do you think this one is worth something? Speaking of the new arrival. Will he be useful in the combats?
Well, He struck down a goblin.
Are you expecting combat? I prefer not to get in a fight if I have to. We halflings tend to flee more than fight.
We don't know what we expect, but should a fight happen, you just stand behind us, little one. Aside, what is your name?
Ooh, I go by many names. The Killer of the Green, Slaughterer of Greenskins.
That's all good. That's all good. What do you want us to call you?
You, good sir, may call me a Ballister Belmore. And as he says his name, he gives kind of a a unusual bow while he spins his hand in the air.
Ronark just kind of nods his head. Very well, little Ballister. Come along.
The little soft one talks much.
Aye, that he does. And then we continue on the road.
All right, Kothar, you're bringing that corpse with you for
I'm
rations.
gonna eat this. So yes,
You're eating the horse or the goblin like right now?
the goblin can't carry the horse.
Got it. So, the three of you trek along the road for about 10 minutes or so, and then you come along a creek, or a river rather, or it's a narrow creek, I'd say, you know. Ronark, you were instructed that if you follow the creek straight along the path of the trade route, it should take maybe 2-3 more days of travel in order to make it to Orlane, your destination. You were saying?
Oh, I was just saying, aye. So we are maybe 2-3 days at the most before we hit Orlane. Let's keep moving.
Right, so it's beginning to get late as you travel. Luckily for you, after about 3 or so hours, you come across an inn along the road, or rather a nice refurbished looking building. The materials seem, you know, newer. Definitely has been worn throughout the ages. This is it's rather small. It could probably house maybe 2 or 3 nuclear families. And there's a stable out back with 2 horses and a cart with supplies. This is on the side of your path that you're walking by.
Well, it looks like the sun is going to go down. We best stay here for the night, if that's okay with the 2 of you.
This one finds that agreeable.
I would like to sleep in a nice bed.
Okay, so you guys are approaching the tavern. The closer you get, you can now make out there's a sign that says Avel's Avel's Bed Rest. It's, you know, wooden, hanging from a stick coming out of the building. As you enter, this is a scene that unfolds before you.
I want to steal this image.
I'll go for it, man. It's all yours. So, in this tavern, there is... One moment, please. Okay, well, I'm just going to describe it while I look for the images. At the counter, there's a blonde woman, human, maybe mid-20s. You can't really tell from a discerning eye unless you maybe get closer, get to know her. By the table, there's another human, male, black, long hair, face absolutely pressed against the dining table. There's a mug by his side. He appears to be unconscious. In the back, sitting across from each other, is a dwarf and a large, you're assuming half-orc, but unlike the other residents of this tavern, the half-orc himself seems to be equipped with gear for travel.
So we walk in, and Ronark immediately notices the half-orc and waits to catch his eye and kind of gives him the nod and makes his way to the bar.
Okay. So you make your way to the bar, and here she is. This is a woman who sits down in front of you. She says, she looks you over real quick. She sees that. What are you equipped with? What are you wearing currently?
I basically essentially look like my image. I'm equipped in my what you call it? Shit. I mean, I have my
chain
mace.
mail.
Yeah, I have my mace and my crossbow slung across my back. I have my traveler's pack. You know, I have my chainmail on, my robes. Yeah, I look essentially like an adventurer in chainmail.
Okay. She has a smile on her face as you approach, and then she gets a good look at you. She says, oh my. Sorry. Welcome. Is there anything I can get you? She's motioning towards a menu that's laid out on a plaque above her. They're fairly fair prices, you know, depending on... What can I interest you in?
Yes. I am Ronak. My friends and I, we will be needing rooms and food for this night.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Mira. I tend to the most of the chores and the keepings of this place, of this post, really. For meals, that really depends on what you want to eat. But for a night here, it's a lowly price of 5 silver a day.
We only need the one night. We shall be off in the early morning time.
Just one night. I do have some options. If you want a private single room, you know, that would be 5 silver. If you want a lavish guest room, you know, you look like a VIP in your shiny armor. Ooh, that will be 2 gold per night. And if you want to split a room with your companions, you motion towards the 2 of your friends behind you. You can probably do around 12 silver? Does that sound good to you?
This one here, and he motions over to Kothar, eats dead things. This one here, and he motions over to Ballister, I do not know. Here's your 5 silver. I'll take my own room.
Right. You give her the 5 silver, and you're still carrying the dead goblin, right?
I am. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Okay. Well, you guys can see the images of the characters, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the half-orc, who is all equipped out, all decked out, you know, scars all over his face, definitely battle-hardened, stops mid-sentence from his conversation with the dwarf once he hears the words that are uttered from Ronark's mouth about eating dead things. He gets up and takes a look at you. And he starts hesitantly reaching for his battle axe. He doesn't pull it out, but he's definitely prepared for a fight. And then he starts to approach you cautiously. Roy, you there? What's that over your shoulder?
Does the green one speak to this one?
Yes. He's, yeah. He hasn't pulled anything out. He's just cautiously approaching you.
This one carries a goblin. It will be in this one's belly before the night is done.
He gives it a good look over. The head is completely... You can't really tell it's a goblin. He's like, right. That's a goblin, yeah? And he looks over, you do that? Was that you? Was that your work?
This one merely carries the prize of another. And I point over towards the little soft one killed this one, little goblin in the woods before we came.
Is that so? Right, okay. You're going to be staying here, right, the night? He's asking if you're going to be lodging here.
This one's typically forced to stay outside, but yes.
Well, if you are going to be staying here, you got to take that outside. That no corpses allowed, honestly. Also, don't do anything funny. He points at the cleric, who's all decked out in his equipment, and I'm assuming the warlock as well. You have any visible weapons or?
Well, I have my long sword that seems too big for his body, and he's wearing hide armor. So
He has a long sword?
Yeah, I know. It looks much too big for his body.
For him, it's like a great sword.
Yeah, no, not a great sword.
That's hilarious.
Right, I'm not gonna... in these parts, I'm in charge of making sure everyone gets a nice rest, nothing funny happens. I won't take your weapons away, but you best not try anything. He's referring to all three of you.
The green one that this one travels with does not ever laugh. Do not worry about funny things. And I would just turn and walk out of the tavern and go sit behind it or something, start eating this corpse.
Ronark would kind of mention or kind of talk over to him. He sat down in a chair at a table. You do not need to worry about us. I am Ronark. I am here to protect those who can't protect themselves. I am here to take care of the weak. I am not here to cause trouble with you or this house. We are just looking for a night's rest and some food.
Right, he drops his guarded stance, he seems more at ease with a fellow half-orc around. He's like, right, but between you and me, I trust you, right? Those two don't know anything about him, not a single thing. Not a single thing. What can you tell me about him?
This scaly one, he will eat his food outside. You do not need to worry about him. And the other little one, well, I can't tell you much about him. We just met him. I'm sure he will mind his manners.
Is that so? Okay. And then he seems satisfied with that answer for now. He goes back to his dwarf compatriot in the back. Sorry about that, you hear him say as they continue their conversation. The dwarf has a worried expression on his face. Yeah. So you've paid for your room.
Yeah, how many silver pieces in gold in a gold piece? I paid what, 5 silver?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I have 15 gold. What does minus 5 silver leave me with?
Pretty sure it's 100, right? 100 silver per gold.
I don't know.
Go find out. 'Cause it might be in the. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's a treasure. So for silver to gold is 1 in every 10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have 14 gold and 5 silver now.
Oh yeah, conveniently when Mira, did she introduce herself? She should have. Her name is Mira.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Right, she conveniently had just the right amount of change for you.
Okay.
Hey!
How fortuitous.
Right, so Ballister, Kothar's out eating a goblin apparently. What are you up to?
Well, Ballister looks around to see if there are any individuals who might have interesting stories.
Well, currently the only ones in the room are the possibly unconscious. He's definitely moved a bit since you've last seen him. At least he's not dead. The human, face planted on the table. The half-orc and the dwarf are still in conversation, although they've turned to whispers now. They don't want to be overheard. And that's currently all who's visible, including
Well,
Arrow.
since there's no one of interest, the mighty Ballister will go up to the bar lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
You approach the bar. It takes a moment for her to notice that someone's there, but she looks over the counter and sees you. It's like, oh, I didn't see you there. What? How can I help you? Would you like some ale? I've got... She lists off a bunch of different ales that they have.
Do you happen to have something that leaves a fruity aftertaste in your mouth? I have quite the sweet tooth.
Are you asking about sweets, or are you a drink, or...
I'm asking about sweet drinks, of course.
Right. Well, we have Kaosh Golden Wine, you know, a bit of an aftertaste that's not as sweet as when it first goes down. What else is sweet? We got imported from Orlane itself, Blackberry Port, 5 silver. It's definitely a staple, yeah. Those are both pretty sweet. Are you interested in any of these?
No, see, when I refer to sweet drink, I'm referring to juice. Do you have apple juice?
Oh my god.
We have milk and wine and ale and water.
I'll take a glass of your finest milk.
Okay. Well, she goes out, pulls out a wooden gallon of milk, and pulls out a glass and starts pouring you. It's like, that will be 10 copper.
How many coppers is in the silver?
That one should be 100. I think it's
That
100
is,
copper
I
per
believe
gold.
it's 100. Bust open the, because I'm gonna be the resident checker for the treasure. That's gonna be for coppers into silver is apparently 101. I think
let's just make it 100.
no, yeah. Let's just say 100.
That's gonna be easier.
No, it's 1 in 10. I'm sorry, I'm reading it wrong. It's 1 in 10.
1 in 10.
Coppers to silvers, yeah.
So they're all just a conversion of 10?
So they're all just conversion of
So
10.
100 copper per gold.
100 copper per gold, yes.
That makes sense.
And as Ballister starts to take some sips from the delicious milk, he looks at me and says, "Do you have any interesting stories to tell weary travelers such as myself?"
Oh, I wouldn't know about interesting. However, she takes a moment, you know, contemplative. So, recently, many more farmers have been traveling back and forth. Not back and forth, sorry. They've been leaving Orlane, heading to Brule or somewhere, I suppose. That's actually the reason we've opened up. We noticed that, and by we, I mean the owner of this place, Abel, his name's on the tab room. We noticed the influx of refugees, and we capitalized on it. Depending on who you ask, though, the reasons for leaving Orlane differ. I hardly believe in myself. Are you interested in that?
Interested is quite the powerful term. I would say merely curious. Walking alone, seeing naught but trees and dirt can quite dull the senses.
Yes, well, the other day, I was talking to this elven man. He had told me the reason he was leaving was because savage crocodiles were coming out from the marsh and attacking people. I'm not sure if I believe that, but it does sort of remind me of this other story in which this woman, a very attractive woman, she told me about how the children of Orlane were being kidnapped by a 5-headed monster and taken to the woods. Those are the stories that I hear. Though, if you wanted to know more, that man over there, she motions towards the unconscious man, is actually a resident of Orlane. He comes here often. He refuses to tell me why.
Before I leave, could you tell me if anything's been done? Has the kingdom sent anyone to investigate these claims? I mean, I have to pass through that village, and I fear for my own health. Are there truly 5-headed monsters and the kidnappers of children?
Oh, I hardly know, really. I haven't seen any armies being sent there, is that what you're asking? At least not from Brule. Maybe Luca sent some support. But I'm sure this is all just, rumors and nothing true.
Ah. Well, thank you for this exquisite conversation.
All right, we'll switch over real quick. Kothar, you've managed to... you want to describe how you've eaten this goblin?
Yeah, so it would really just be, going out back behind the tavern, sort of just, sitting down and digging into it, just tearing through. I mean, it's not a big meal. Just tearing meat off the bone. Kothar's eaten goblins before. In some places, it's as you would expect meat to be. They have some fat. Some areas, other places is a bit more stringy. But
have you ever seen a Komodo dragon eat something?
Yeah, there you go. It's a Komodo dragon tearing into a corpse, basically, but a man-sized bipedal one. Just tears through it and then starts playing around with the bones, fiddling with making some little daggers and things like that. I'll roll a craft if I have to.
You wanted a...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a craft roll.
Okay. Go. Would that be like my carving proficiency for dual proficiency?
Yeah. Can you also link the thing, your ability?
Sure. Oh. Hold on. There it is. Anything that I would need as far as like a dagger or anything, I would just see if I could borrow from... and walk back in and bug somebody for a blade.
Sure. Do either of you have a blade, or are you gonna ask like one of the other individuals?
I'll ask one of the patrons if neither of them have a little dagger.
I'll
ask the barmaid.
I actually happen to have a small knife if you wish to use.
This one will take it. Hold my hand out.
Well, this one will borrow it. This is not a permanent transaction.
I'm still just gonna hold my hand out.
And Ballister passes him the small knife.
This one will return it soon. Walk out. And sure, I can carve some stuff. I was just gonna carve little clubs and knives or whatever, what have you.
Yeah, it doesn't say you need a roll, right?
I don't think so. I'd only have to roll if I was gonna make darts, which I'm not. Let's make a little I'll make a little bone club, I guess.
It doesn't even say you have to make a roll. Oh, yeah. If you're gonna make darts, you just have to make a roll to see how many you make. Not even to make them.
Yeah.
Using your cunning artisan lizard man intuition and ingenuity, you take one corpse of a goblin and manage to transform into a mighty bone mace. And by mighty, it's kind of stained, very you wouldn't be able to sell it for much on the market, but you're very proud of your work.
So if I'm able to complete it before they go to sleep, I come back in, I give the halfling his dagger back.
It smells now. I'll have to clean it. Ugh.
Right, so...
Iron smells of iron. And I'd walk past him and then over to Ronark and show him the bone club.
Oi. Very fine work. Very fine work indeed.
This one would offer it to the green one.
To me, well, that's very great of you, friend. I take it. I take it and I thank you for your work and your diligence in doing so. I will treasure it, and maybe one day I will use it to defend myself, and it will make me think of you. Thank you, friend. And then I
Yes.
reach my hand out and I take it and I, inspect it even closer, nod my head approvingly, and kind of attach it to the side of my belt.
All right,
This
you
one
can add-
believes it will kill things greatly. And then I would walk back outside. And this one will sleep now.
Okay, well, that's Kothar, and anyone else want to do anything before calling it a night? Balasar still hasn't paid for a room unless you want to camp outside.
No.
Oh wait, you paid for no, you bought milk.
Yep.
Right.
Ballister will go up to Mira and say, well, no, Ballister was going to try to see if he can gently and kindly get the sleepy man awake, but if he can't, he'll just wait for tomorrow morning.
One sec. Ronark, did you want to do anything before he did that? Or?
So Ronark is going to approach the bar. I'd like to buy ales for that table over there. And he's pointing to the table with the dwarf and the other half-orc. I'd like to speak to them. Words come easier when they are trailed by ales.
Oh, I can do that for you. Actually, let me just show you this. This is a menu. Yeah, so what will it be? You guys should have a handout. This is tavern prices.
Yeah, I see it.
Three stouts coming up.
Strange, I don't seem to find milk.
Well, let me just stop showing that to players.
Let me go
Three
find
stouts
that.
coming right up. She
That's-
goes out in the back, starts pouring them. She takes it over. She
I will-
whispers a couple of things.
I will remove
And,
3 silver pieces. Hey, my weight's going down too. The more I spend.
Hey.
It's a pro tip. If you go bankrupt, you have like the best mobility.
So I walk over to the table that has the other half-orc and the dwarf, Galen and Ogren, and I have her bring the ales over. I take one off of the tray as she's bringing them over. All right,
So-
gentlemen, may I join you?
So Galen takes it. I was like, oh yeah, right, of course. Ogren on the other end says, man, not so fast. Yeah, he shoots Galen a look, and then Galen in response just shrugs. Ogren gives you a look over. He says, oh yeah, I appreciate the drink. And he contemplates for a second. You may sit.
Thank you, Master Dwarf. I appreciate it. My
Yes,
feet
sir.
are weary. We have been traveling for some time now. We are headed to Orlean. What can you tell me of Orlean? Any news? Anything I should be aware of before entering?
So, okay. Orlane, huh? Yeah. I heard lots of good things about Orlane. I just passed through there the other day. I'm a merchant traveling. I don't know if you saw my wares. Maybe you're interested in buying something later, but that's besides the point. These rumors of Orlane being a rich farm town with happy people just willing to buy your stuff. Nothing but shit. All lies. I just passed through and I got nothing but weird stares from the local people. Not a single person bought my goods. and I have the best goods around. You can tell he's been drinking a little bit.
I believe you. You look to be a merchant that would only deal in the best goods around. And he takes a swig of his stout.
Gallon raises his stout. Cheers! Best goods around. He starts chugging. And Ogren's just like messing with his mustache. He's like, yes, you've got a good eye.
And how about you, Gallon? Any word from Orlane?
He finishes your gift. He slams it on the table. He's like, right, look, I never been there. I'm really just hired muscle for this place. They had some problems when they were establishing themselves. Goblin attacks, dragons. I slayed the dragons, anyways. I've never been there. You hear things. I don't know what's true or what's not.
You hear things such as
Right. Well, he seems to be put on the spot. He's just thinking for a moment. I hear that Orlane is, beautiful during the springtime. Right. Very beautiful. Weather's nice. The women are fine. It's good stuff, really.
Well, that is good news indeed. Good news indeed. And he takes a swig of his ale again.
Yeah. Gallon goes to take another swig, but finds out that it's empty, and he's like, what?
Master Ogren, I would love to see your wares in the morning. We will depart early, so if you are up early, please show them to us.
Of course. You will be satisfied. I guarantee it.
Very good. Well then, in the morning, good sirs. In the morning. And he stands up and starts walking off to his room that he has paid for.
Cool. So, we'll go back to Bowstar. You're shaking or what are you doing?
I'm trying to gently wake up the man.
Alright, so you put your hand upon his shoulder, you shake him a little bit, and he stirs. If you want to keep pressing it, or you want to leave him alone?
I go back to Mira again, and ask her, is that man usually dead drunk?
Well, I wouldn't say he's dead drunk. In fact, she pulls out a paper. Oh my. He hasn't paid his tab, and there seems to be a long list of things that he's been ordering without paying for. She grabs the little broomstick. She goes over and starts hitting him on the head with it. Whack, whack, whack. What is it? She just shows him the paper. He's like, what? You just gonna watch while that goes on, or?
Yep, that's a way to wake him up.
Yeah, so he picks himself up. He's like, look, Mira, you know I've got it, right? Just, come on. And she responds with, Hendrik, you are pushing me over the line here. I'm gonna cut you off until you pay off your tab. He's like, what? No! Come on, Mira. Come on, don't do that. It's like, she sighs. She says, it's the only way. You give me the gold, and you can start drinking again. It's like, I got gold. And that's the end of that conversation. She goes to the back. He's definitely up and about now. He stood up and then sat back down and stood back up.
Balser walks up to him and says, Why, hello, my good fellow. It appears that you are having some problems.
I was all right. Yeah, you could say I have some problems. Why, you interested in helping me out, huh, buddy?
Oh
sort of shows you.
gods. Oh gods, no. I have no interest in that.
He's disgruntled, like, all right, well then.
But I could always use an informant. And informants tend to get paid well when they help me.
An informant, eh? Shouldn't we be whispering about this?
We're in a no-name tavern. I'm sure that any real movers wouldn't spend half a second in here.
Hey, this is practically my home, okay? Don't say it's a no-name tavern, but I suppose you have a point. What's this information that you're looking for?
Well, the nearby town of Orlane. I have family who lives there, and I started hearing these rumors back at my hometown, and I'm quite worried for their safety, and I want to know if there's any validity behind the stories. Or if you know the truth of what's going on with the farmers going and leaving.
Dude, I know the truth, right? See, I'm actually from Orlane. You believe it? He's sort of just like trying to show himself off, like that's the feat, like a really grand feat. The farmers, huh? Well, when I think about it, he's like, he puts out his hand. As
What?
in, he's requesting
Yeah.
something.
What are you doing?
Well, you know, my memory is a bit fuzzy, but I'm sure you can clear it up.
Yes, well, I don't know how much the information that you were born at Orlane is worth. So, you should see a doctor for that head memory problem.
No! Come on, you don't catch my drift. You give me gold or copper or silver, really, and I'll tell you more. That's how this one works, you know?
Why would I pay you before you give me the information? You could just say anything you want. You could say bibbidi
Wow.
bobbidi boo and you'd still be richer. I'm not willing to take that risk.
Okay, but if I give you the information, then you might not pay me, and I could make something up either way, but I am a gentleman of Orlane. You have my word, I will not lie.
Mm-hmm. And how much is this information worth exactly?
Oh, you know, you can take a couple guesses. The more you give me, the more I give you.
How much would one copper give me?
I'm sorry, what was that? He sort of puts his finger in his ear and tries cleaning it out. I didn't quite catch that.
I said, how much would one copper give me?
And he sort of levels, he goes down on like a squat position, makes eye contact, like, come on, one copper. You gotta be kidding. One copper and I'll tell you my name.
Mm-hmm. Then how about 2 copper?
Copper, you get my last name. Come on.
Look, just tell me what you want for the information I want. I'm not a fan of the guessing game. I could always ask how much I'd get for 3 copper, and we could go from there.
He puts his
My middle
fingers
name.
on his temple and he presses against his eyebrows in frustration. He's like, he looks at his little mug and it's pretty much empty.
Oh shit.
Okay, look. Fucking. Between you and me, he whispers this one. I would not drink the water in Orlane, okay? This is why I'm always here. The drink here, perfectly fine. Except for that imported stuff. Don't drink that imported stuff either.
Oh, I don't drink alcohol. Only juices, water, and milk.
Right, but that's the thing. The water's poison too. Actually, that'll be 8 gold. He raises an eyebrow.
How does 2 silver sound?
8 silver.
How does 2 silver sound?
You know what? This is why I got a lot of more information, but I'm gonna need the money up front. He'll take the 2 silver from you, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so you give him the 2 silver for what he told you. He's like, so, see, little man, from now on, you give me the money, and then I decide whether or not I tell you something. 2 silver's hardly enough for an ale. Speaking of which, he goes over to Mira and orders another drink with the 2 silver you just gave him. And she reminds him that until the entire tab is paid, that he gets nothing. What? Come on, Mira! Oh! And he goes back to you.
I'll give you 2 more silver if you tell me why the water is poisoned. That is as much as I need.
Wow.
But
you know, I tell you what. That sounds fair for the price, but I can't entirely tell you for certain why it's poisoned. But if you ask me, the
1 silver.
Hey, what? No, yeah, never mind. My lips are sealed.
Then my purse is sealed as well. Good day, sir.
Wait, no,
And Bowser
wait!
gets up and starts walking off.
Right, well,
He still hasn't paid for a room.
yeah, I know.
No,
He's just
I'm gonna go to Mira and say, hello again, madam. I'd like to purchase a room for a single night.
Why, of course. Well, a fine gentleman as yourself, would you be in a luxury room, or?
How much does the luxury room cost?
Oh, you know. As I pull up the sheet. What was it? That'll be 2 gold. I tell you, it's worth it. You don't hear any of the rabble downstairs making fusses.
You convinced me. I'll take the normal room.
She dejectedly looks. She's like, fine, fine. You're gonna give her the gold or the money, and your transaction occurs.
5 silver, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry.
The gold? What?
Do I have to pay for sleeping outside next to the tavern?
Oh no, but if you're camping outside, we're gonna have to. You're like literally right outside.
I mean, if there's like a little pond or creek nearby, I'll probably sun in it, or not sun in it, but I'll probably sleep around it, roll around in it a bit before I sleep. But otherwise, as far as sleeping, probably next to the tavern.
Yeah, sure. So give me a D100 roll, and then the other 2, you're fine for now. 1 second.
For now, he says.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're good. So that's it for everyone, right? You both head to your rooms. He camps outside. Or is there any last second things? You know, want to give the room a look over? Or...
Oh yeah, that should be automatically assumed. I guess not, but from here on out, anytime Ronark purchases a room or sleeps in a room, he immediately is going to check out the room. He's going to look at the room. He's going to make sure the room is secure, and then he's going to secure the door in whatever fashion he needs to, or however he can, before going to sleep.
All right. Okay, well, you guys have a nice restful sleep. No one really casted anything, but if you did, you would recharge all that. So just imagine like a nice transition, and now it's daylight. You hear a rooster on the roof doing its little cock-a-doodle-doo.
If it hops down, I try to catch it.
God.
You know, if you want to hunt it actively, or just wait for it to drop. All right. Well, it's on top of the tavern, so you would have to climb up there.
So is that either athletics or
dexterity.
acrobatics?
Athletic, yeah.
I'll take either. Yeah, 16. You're able to. Okay, yeah, you're able to climb up right beside it. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. Oh.
Let me just pull up a chicken. Alright, well this one should be easy too now. You're able to sneak up beside it. You have advantage on this next roll. Give me just to snatch it up, just like a dex check versus... Actually, yeah.
Dex check?
Yeah, just dex. It's
Okay.
gonna be like his dex versus your dex, but you have advantage.
16. This chicken's
Oh
gonna
yes,
shoot fucking-
swiftly
Oh.
you sneak up behind this thing. You climb up silently as a predator does. This poor rooster doing its job, waking up all the patrons.
Oh god.
Cucks its final cuck, a doodle doo, as you snatch it. It's now in your hands. What do you want?
Just take the head off.
And describe how
walking
you're
around.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's blah blah blah. It's all over the place, and just and then deftly slide back down with the chicken in my hands and start not because I don't understand social graces, so I'm walking in looking for my traveling companions with this bleeding chicken in my hands as I'm eating it.
Ronark immediately walks over to him and stands in front of him, kind of using his body, his girth, to hide the fact that he has a headless rooster in his hands. Kothar, what is it you are doing? What do you think you are doing? You can't bring that in here.
And I would look down at the chicken and look back up and look down at the chicken again.
Was
This
that
one-
your chicken, Kothar?
This
Was it
beast-
yours?
This beast was on top of the inn. It belongs to nature.
Oh, Kothar. And he just kind of puts his hands up to the bridge of his nose and closes his eyes, kind of shaking his head in disbelief. Kothar, that is the inn's chicken. It was not ours to take. I understand it was outside, and what is outside to you is nature. But we must not bring that in here. Either dispose of it, take it outside, finish eating it, but either way, this one is going to have to pay for it. And he
I would
turns
look
around
down
and
at
walks
chicken.
back into the tavern.
I would look down at chicken, look back at him, then just sort of backstep outside. Eat the chicken outside and come back in at room time.
Oh yeah, it was a delicious meal. Honestly, fit for a king. It really fills you up for now. A good hour or so, you'll probably be hungry again.
Mhm.
So, are the three of you all down here now? Currently working is Mira again. She seems to never rest. She's tidying up, getting ready for the day. Yeah.
Oh,
Mira,
Go ahead.
so we're going to be departing soon. Is Master Dwarf Ogren anywhere around? Have you
Well,
seen him?
of course, you know what they say, dwarves never rest. She doesn't know whether or not people say that, but she assumes. He actually left about an hour ago. He's outside right now, fixing his things, getting ready for the journey ahead.
Thank you.
No problem.
Ronark will make his way over to Ogren.
Okay, what about the other two?
This one will order a water. And go up to the counter and just sort of look at her for a little bit.
A
And-
feather sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's bourbon feathers come out.
Ballister will sit right next to Kothar and order a milk.
Right, so this is the first interaction she's had with Kothar. She doesn't move when you first like stare at her for a while. She's sort of like frozen. And then you order your milk. She's like, of course. One moment. She gets the milk out. You know the prices already if you want to. Did you actually order the water, or were you just assuming she'd give you water?
At first, I was assuming, but then I see she's just kind of looking at me. It's like,
You didn't make the price list open to everyone because it's not here.
no, he closed it off again.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
He already ordered milk. He knows the price of milk. Water's on the house.
Is it? No. So I would, look at her expectantly for a little bit, and then after, there's that really uncomfortable silence. And this one is thirsty.
Right. What can I get for you?
A bowl with that runs through the dirt. The water.
She sort of, she's confused for a second until you clarify what you meant. It's like, okay, yeah. One moment. She turns around, she gets you a bowl and fills it with water. She puts a bowl in front of you, and she looks at you expectantly.
I do the
Nervous.
whole lizard thing with the tongue in the water.
Oh my, okay. She goes back to working after she gets Alistair's milk.
Finish it, and then another water.
She looks at you, she's like, oh my, you were thirsty, huh? It was like 10 seconds, you didn't even like gulp it down, you like licked it down somehow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A little lizard chunk thing. She goes back, gives you the same bowl. It's now to the brim, as in if you like slightly move it, it's gonna spill out. This should be enough, right?
Probably. And then splash it in my face and start rubbing my body down with it.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to ask. At first she sounds angry, but then she's like, she remembers what she's talking. She's like, if you would kindly, probably do that somewhere that's not on our counter?
Can this one take the bowl?
You want the bowl?
I will bring it back when done.
You know what? 2 copper, you could keep the bowl.
Sort of rumor, because I don't have pockets. I don't.
I'll carry it for you, my reptile friend.
Oh no, I can. This one can carry the bowl, but the shiny things, they are with the green one.
How about we let this bowl be on me for our new friendship? Then you can owe me one in the future.
It's the return of Marguerite.
This one owes nothing, but you can pay for the bowl.
You're a stingy one, but that's good in a world of hagglers. And he gives her the 2 copper.
Thank you. She takes the copper, and she looks at the lizard expectantly.
I pick the bowl up and walk outside.
Oh my.
Yes, he does seem to be a little bit of a handful, but I'm sure he's a good guy once you get to know him. At least, I hope he is.
We can only hope. Upstairs, you hear like muffled shouting. There seems to be an argument. There's a voice that you personally recognize from your conversation yesterday, being Hendrik, the drunken human. And another voice is much higher pitch. They seem to be going back and forth for a bit. From here, you can't really make out what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to investigate after a moment. Or do you want to investigate it, or?
None of my business.
Okay. Well, after a moment, you hear a door slam. He's like, "Right, I'll leave. You'll have to say it again." And dunk, 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 dunk. You see Hendrik walk down the stairs. He looks at you, and he looks down, and he walks out. Well, if that's it for you, we'll go over to Ronark. You, while they're all doing that, yeah? You walk out of the tavern, you see the dwarf. He's like tying things down to his cart. His horse is already saddled up.
Aye, Master Dwarf.
Hey, Rolar, right? Right.
Ronak.
Ronar, of course. Right. You said you were interested in my wares, right?
Aye. Go ahead and show them to me. We'll be off soon, and it looks as though you're going to be off soon as well.
Oh yeah, there's no business in Orlane for me. I'm heading over to Brule, you know. They say I can make my riches there.
And I hope you do. In the meantime, maybe I can aid you before you even get there.
That would be just dandy. He walks around behind his stable. He has like a little blanket laid out with some goods. And he says, come over here. Let me show you something. I've got some nice things on sale for you, stranger.
Very well. Show me your wares.
So yeah, you walk over to the side and you can inspect what he has. He's got this necklace, seems to be made out of. It sort of looks like a pearl necklace, right? It's just a little darker than what you would expect a pearl to look like. He's got other kinds of jewelry just lying about, bracelets, just an uncut gem that shines crimson.
So, Ronak, he kind of looks over some of the things. Well, I do have to say, the trinkets and baubles, most impressive, sir. Well, I like the shiny look. I like the bright colors. But do you have anything that a man such as me, an adventurer, moving into a city, might need?
And he looks at you, he's like, oh yeah, I knew you liked the shiny stuff. Just look at you. He like pats at your armor. It's all nice and pristine. He's like, you're an adventurer, right? Wait, fuck. You're an adventurer, right? Well,
That's correct.
while you're out adventuring, slaying monsters, you know, being the hero of villages, why don't you have one of these nice shiny wares? You never know when one might be in handy, huh? He just keeps pointing at the bracelets and stuff. You don't find any better prices. I'm kind of worried here because I really only sell jewelry.
Jewelry. Now, I might be wearing robes, but also on my belt, you see 2 maces, you see a crossbow. Those are weapons. I am also a man of arms. Jewelry does me no good in a combat. Is there any reason why I should even be bothered to look at your jewels?
Well, he sort of looks for a moment. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be interested in the jewels. At least not these. However, he starts rummaging through what he packed. He's just going through his stuff, pulling odd baubles and trinkets out. And then he settles on a nice old, right? A nice bronze, old looking. Seems like a pocket watch. This right here. Yeah, this could aid you, an adventurer like yourself. This may not look like much, but this pocket watch has very mystique, very arcanic, perhaps, properties about it.
What do you mean by that? What does
Yeah.
it do?
He flips it open, right? And you can see that the hour hand, and it seems to be frozen, stuck in place. He says, well, yeah, I came across this from an old friend of mine back in Luca. He had been doing some research on it. He's a very old, wise, smart man, right? He tells me, I can't confirm, so I'm willing to give you a slight discount as opposed to what he said it'd sell for. But he tells me that using this pocket watch, he clicks it. Nothing happens. Using this pocket watch. He clicks it again. And then suddenly, the hour hand doesn't do anything, obviously. The second hand starts ticking. Counting the time. He waits about 10 seconds, and then it glows, right? It shines a nice bright light. Even in the daylight, you can tell that this pocket watch absolutely, it's a nice beacon of light. He sort of points at your eyes, and you squint. It's like, there you go. That's what I was expecting.
Are you telling me you've got something that creates a glare that I can shine in my eyes?
No. Right? It's a light, which is amazing, right? But he's looking at you. He's waiting a moment. He's like, you don't feel strange, do you? Huh?
Strange. The only strange thing here is how eager you are to sell this watch.
No, wait, just give it like 10 more seconds. He's waiting for something to occur to you.
I'm waiting.
The time tick-tocks away. You, maybe this is just the way that he's described the moment to you, but maybe you feel a little bit lighter. You can't really tell.
All right, merchant. Have you got anything else?
Oh, gosh. Well, you don't want the jewels. You don't want the nice shiny pocket watch, which you sure you don't feel strange? Strange. Fucking hell. My throat.
Drink some water. Strange. I don't know. Maybe I felt a little lighter, but there's nothing to say that that's true.
Piece of junk. He tosses it back in the corner. Well, that's really all I got if you're not interested in that.
Well, thank you for showing me your wares, Master Dwarf. I wish you the best.
Yeah, done. Cheers. He was really banking on that pocket watch.
We'll be off now.
Yeah, safe travels and whatnot.
You as well. And he kind of nods to him and walks back towards his group.
Yeah. You can tell, at least for a brief moment, that your pace has slightly quickened. You seem to be taking longer strides. You're trying to walk like you normally do, but you're just going a little bit further than you expect.
What is this? I feel as I'm striding. I've got a stride in my. What is this?
You saying it to yourself, or?
Yeah. I'm like talking to myself here, just trying to figure out what this feeling is. I wonder if there was some truth in what he said. And he immediately turns around. Dwarf!
Huh? He's tying up his bag again. What?
Show me that watch again.
He looks at you with an annoyed expression. I just put it back. I just put everything back. What What? Okay, fine. He unties his thing, he starts searching through it again, pulls out the same trinkets and baubles, you know. And he pulls it out, he's like, it's pretty fine, right?
What is it that you want for this watch?
He's about to say something, right? He's about to give you a price, and then a look comes on his face like, hold on a second. I thought you weren't interested.
I wasn't interested, but then I remembered. You and I, we drank ales last night. We became friends. And friends help friends. I know you're moving on and you didn't get the reception you expected in Orleans. You thought you were going to make a coin and you didn't. Well, I am simply here to be your friend today. I want to buy something from you. Help you get your next ale in the next town.
Okay. Would you consider this a lie, or...
It's a white lie.
Yeah. Would you consider this a deception roll?
Yeah, I fucking would.
Come on.
I fucking would. You lying
it's,
motherfucker.
it's a deception roll.
Ready to pay full price?
Oh. And he's just kind of like kicking the dirt when he says all this, and like he's looking down at the ground, just kind of like shifting back and forth. Oh, it's because I want to buy you an ale, of course.
He's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So, all right, I'll tell you what. I actually don't know what this pocket watch does. He gave me a price I could sell it for. He said it sells for at least 75 gold. I've been curious. I've been shining this damn pocket watch in my eyes constantly. I don't feel anything different. What does it do? You obviously know, otherwise you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
If you give me a deal on that watch, I'll tell you what it does.
All right, first you tell me to put it away, you could have gotten it for a nice cheap price, then you come back and lie to me, and now you want a deal. Now you want a deal. Okay. What do you got? How much you got on you?
I've got 5 gold.
5 gold he's got! Oh boy! 5 gold! He looks at his copper ring that he's wearing. I wouldn't sell you this for 5 gold. You want this for... Whew.
That's 5 more gold than you have now.
And he sort of pats his pockets down. It's like, no, it's still there. Right. Unless, yeah, he's still got his money. He's like, that. I'm not exactly hurting for gold here. For 5 gold, there's no way I'm parting with this. But maybe we can make an arrangement.
Why? What's your arrangement?
Right, well, you see, I've already told you when my trip to Orlane, not exactly good for the old pockets of mine. You know, I'm not exactly poor, but, I've got a buddy, right, a good friend of mine. He was actually looking to open up shop in Orlane. I tried talking him out of it, but he just believes the rumors. He loves it. He's convinced. He's dead set on it. And this guy, we go way back, right? I don't think he'll be able to make a living out there. I believe he's going to set up his shop, he's going to crash, and then he'll have nothing. You see what I'm saying here?
Aye, your friend's going to need some help.
Right. I don't know. He should be arriving in Orlane within the next... He's thinking for a moment. 1, 2... I'd say at least a week's time. Maybe 2, 3 weeks. Maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Honestly, anywhere from 1 to 5 weeks. He'll be in Orlane. Maybe.
What would you like me to do to help him?
Well, if there's I've been through Orlane before and it wasn't like this. Something's going down there. If you can, maybe fix whatever's making them all wonky, those villagers, those Orlanians. He mumbles to himself. If you can find what's going on, maybe get them back to snuff. Used to be very lucrative to travel through there. You tell him, he'll write me a letter, and then I'll give you this for free. On the house. Don't tell him I said that.
And Ronark looks him in the eye, and with the most stern and serious face, I swear to my God that town shall be set right, that we shall do everything in our power to set that town right.
He nods himself right. Right. Well, his name is Barthen. He's a dwarf like myself. And he starts describing him to you. He says, if you see him, give him my regards. Tell him, tell him, I don't know, just tell him that you ran into me and I spoke highly of his wares or something, If I get that letter, I'll be sure to deliver you this nice, shiny, not exactly shiny, this watch that you seem so interested in.
Sorry, I was updating my journal.
Sound good?
Aye, that sounds like a deal. You have my word. Orlean shall be set straight. It shall return to normal. Commerce shall flow. You will make a penny there again. I guarantee it.
Great. Well, that is that. I want to take a break from his voice for a bit. Right. So, what are the other two up to?
Ronark joins the rest of his group.
Okay.
Finishing water, getting water on myself and just pouring it on myself, pretty much.
Oh yeah, you have a nice bathe. Your slimy or scaly scales have never felt scalier. Alistair?
Alistair is just watching the transaction between the orc and the dwarf while sipping on his delicious milk.
Well then, I think it's best that we be off. It sounds like we have promise of Orlean. Not only can we clear the town of whatever ails it, but in doing so, we might make a profit. We might make friends. We might be able to make new contacts who could aid us in wares and products that we could use going forward in our adventures. Let's be off.
This one will follow the green one so long as the meals continue to come. And I would
Well,
put the bowl in my backpack.
Since we're both going into the same village, I guess we might as well walk together.
Yes, come along, little one.
Right. So you guys gonna head out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you stealing the bowl and glass of no longer milk?
They paid
No,
for the
no,
bowl.
I bought the
You
bowl.
paid for the bowl. Right, my bad. Are you stealing the glass of milk?
Yeah, no, I am not.
Alright, yeah, you go in there. You see, what was it, Mira? She's talking to a halfling man. You return the glass, I assume?
Of course I do. I'm not a barbarian.
Right.
And Kothar can add a wooden bowl to his inventory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I already did.
It
You're
might
right.
come in.
What's the quality of the wood, though?
Common. Fucking
Why-
tavern.
Sign here.
Possibly driftwood. You have no idea.
Yeah. It's a bowl.
It's definitely a wooden bowl.
It'll do.
Okay.
All right, we are off.
You are almost off. You guys are on the trail, and earlier I mentioned how Hendrik got kicked out of the tavern. He's sort of been walking back and forth in front of the road, in front of the tavern. He's like muttering to himself, "Oh, he kicked me out. What am I gonna do?" You can pass him if you wish, or you can strike up.
Well, you could follow us and give us more information in exchange for your safety.
He's looking at you, and he looks at the other two. He's like, "You guys can protect me."
Another soft one to protect. Looking at looking at Ronark.
There are many soft ones to protect. Unfortunately, it does not mean we should not protect them. If he wishes to join us, he may. And yes, he will be protected. That is the mission that my lord has given me.
In exchange
Protect
for
them.
information, of course. We can't do it for free now, can we?
This
For
one
free.
does not take coin.
No, but we do take information. Information about the village. He mentioned something about the water being poisoned, and I believe that he knows more. Most likely, of course.
Well, I would hope that in exchange for our protection, he would warn us of anything that might be up ahead. If he knows such information, he would freely give it to us, as we are freely giving him protection from anything that might come.
Right. That sounds like a fair idea. Fuck. Damn it. Actually, do any of you need to take a 10-minute break?
Don't kill yourself, man. We can take a couple minutes if you want.
Yeah, just 1 sec. I need to get something.
Get some water, man. Get some water. You're doing good. Yeah, the stream. I like the stream. I love ambient sounds like that in the background.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to get some water. I like water too.
Yeah, Ballister, you're gonna find Ronark is not about, for the most part, fleecing people.
Oh well, Ballister doesn't really care about money, it's just the information. And of course, the power.
Now, Ronark kind of went against his personality a little bit, deceiving that that merchant to try and get that watch at a good deal. But he is chaotic good, so I figured that was in keeping with that.
All can be corrupted. It just takes time.
To me, chaotic good essentially just means he's going to do the right thing, even if it means killing every motherfucker in the room to do the right thing.
Lawful evil's the opposite. He'll do the bad thing, but he'll follow the law in order to do it.
Chaotic good is ignoring the law to do good things, essentially. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's a bit more complex character to character, but that's the essential of it. You know?
Which is basically what he's doing. The ends justify the means.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I am back.
Hey, well, hold on 1 second now. I need just like 15 seconds.
Oh, dude, take your time.
1, 2, 3.
Somebody get
Yeah.
a stopwatch for this man.
Oh man, I need to lay off. I can do these voices if I'm only like a player, I guess.
You're not required, man. I mean, it's
No, I mean
fun,
like it's
but-
easier to do it if I'm a player, you know, because I'm
Dude.
not constantly talking.
No, Demi, you're doing an awesome job.
Yes. Continue.
All right, I'm back. I'm good.
All right, hold on, one more chug and then we'll resume that mid conversation.
You need some tea with honey and lemon.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't have honey, lemon, or tea, so I've got some water and some gin. I'm hoping y'all do.
Chewy is not lawful evil. You shut your fucking mouth.
Right. So
Rips people's arms off.
He's the same thing.
That's
as Solo.
still chaotic good.
Yeah, he's the same thing as Solo. That's his
Solo
boy.
is chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
no, he's
abandoned-
got
okay.
good. No way.
So we're not going to devolve
Don't
into
sully
a
this.
Star Wars conversation.
We can-
This is
We can
Dungeons and
argue in the
Dragons
background.
as presented by GM Demi. Let's go.
hey, it's your boy Demi. We're back. Okay. So where were we? I believe the last thing you were saying, you were like, yeah, you tell us, right? You tell us if anything was going down. We're protecting you.
Yep.
Right. Of course, you know, you're doing me a favor. I'll do you a favor. I've got lots of information. I've lived there my entire life.
Any information that you have that would help us, we are there to help the city. We are headed that way because we have heard that they are in trouble. We just want to help. That is all.
Oh, in trouble they are in. Okay. Well, we should start traveling. It's gonna be a lot to tell.
Let's be off then. You start talking.
Right. So, you guys are traveling on the trail. He gives you way more information than you probably wanted. He starts like from the beginning. He tells you how Orlane has always been blessed with rich soil, right? So naturally, it was a great place to start a farming community. The port of Luca had already been established at this time. It's north of Orlean, anyways. So it was like, you know, perfect spot, perfect soil. We're gonna start a town. You know, fuck it, I can do this in character. No, I can't.
You don't have to do it in character.
Yeah.
You could just tell us what he said.
So he goes on and on. He says, the people there, they were very devout to the god America. America is a god or goddess of agriculture and pretty much land development. So naturally, for a group of farming villagers, that's who you want to be praying to. It's their most like pretty much every single villager would attend like ceremonies and stick by her code of conduct. And it thrived. Orlane thrived, having the nice position between a nice big old city and a nice port town. Merchants and travelers would pass there constantly. They could sell their wares, their goods, their harvest. And it thrived for years and years on end. However, he tells you, this began maybe 3 years ago. The soil is no longer putting out as well as it used to. Don't get me wrong, people are still able to harvest, their crops are coming in, but the quality has definitely changed. Along with that, people started to abandon America. They no longer attended the ceremonies, they no longer prayed or showed their devotion. And that was just the beginning, you know. First, the harvests were bad, blah, blah, blah. Now, fast forward, this is maybe 5, 8, let's just say it's like 10 months ago, almost a year, but not really. people start going missing. So, like, a kid here, a villager there. People just assumed, they're probably going out in the wild and being attacked. So the militia beefs up. Now you have people volunteering for the local army. They go out and search parties and never find them. Fast forward even further, the mayor's husband goes missing. There's a woman. He doesn't remember her name right off the top of his head. He tries to, he doesn't really do politics. He's not that kind of guy. He's like, there's so-and-so. Her husband went missing, blah, blah, blah. Some people who had previously gone missing returned, like after the fact, well after the fact. But they seemed off. And then next thing you know, this new inn, he tells you the name of an inn. Just one moment. The Slumbering Serpent. This inn opens up. A bunch of people we've never seen before, just moving in from the port of Luca. And they just sort of they stick to themselves mostly. But he doesn't like them. They seem like shady, shifty folk. There's already an inn called the Golden Grain Inn, the local inn where most people would stay for the night. Not many people stay at the Slumbering Serpent. He's noticed that.
What? I'm sorry. What's the name of it again?
Which one?
The one that just recently opened.
The Slumbering Serpent Inn.
Slumbering Serpent.
Yeah, Sleeping Serpent. He's noticed that not many people stay there, and even more people come missing, and then even more people show up. And when they show up again, there's something off about them. He goes on, he's like, right, I was how do you say it? It was this girl, really, really attractive girl, right? I've been hitting up for quite some time. She goes missing. I despair for a while. I drink my sorrow. She comes back. She doesn't even remember my name. You believe that? Look at me.
Well, I am looking at you right now. We're talking, and I'm looking at you.
No, he looks to the Hobbit. You know what I'm saying, right? Look at me.
He's trying to mention the fact that he believes that he is so handsome that a woman should not forget his face.
Is that what you're saying?
What? I mean, come on. I thought it was implied.
Well, very well then, if you insist. He just kind of looks off to the side and looks over to Kothar and kind of like raises his eyebrows a little bit, like, whoo.
This one does not understand what physical appearance has to do with mating. You look for strong mate, big hips. That is all that matters.
He sort of looks at his arms, he flexes, like, right.
And then Ronak looks over to Kothar. Aye, half of me agrees with you on that one.
And Kothar just kind of looks at you, not getting the joke. Which half and why? This one does not understand.
It is past that point now. It doesn't matter. In any case, it's to Orlean that we go. We shall go. It sounds like even their citizenship, their mayor is missing, or the mayor's husband is missing. A city cannot run with the leadership disappearing. We need to go and assist them right away.
Right. Well, it's still about 2 days away, so at night you guys you make camp. One moment, since this guy's now with you.
So, we camp here for the night. We'll be off early in the AM, early in the morning, as soon as the sun rises. We should set up a watch
This one will watch first. This one is not tired.
Then I shall watch second. In the deepest of the night. You two. Maybe you two should watch together.
This.
Yeah. You there, North, or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I could stand watch, but I'm not sure if I'd be any good.
An extra pair of eyes can never hurt, especially when they're as jumpy as you are.
Right, okay. I guess so. Right, so you guys are breaking them to watches, right?
Yes.
Alright, so who's taking first watch?
This one.
Dibs, 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 dibs.
It will be that one.
That one, roll me a 1d12.
Well, that doesn't seem good.
Alright. So, the three others, while you are on watch, they get to sleep, right? Couple of how long are your watches, by the way? You need like 8 hours of rest. You just want to do like
Well, it's basically. I'm assuming it's like 8 hours. So they're what 2-hour watches? 2, 4, 6, 8.
if all of you are doing in one alone, but you wanted Hendrik with Balster, or?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll. I guess.
We do 9 hours of sleep, 3-hour watches each.
Yeah, there you go. 3-hour watches each.
Seems
Okay, sure. So about 2 hours into your first watch, Kothar, you give me a perception roll.
This one sees all.
Especially at night.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're doing lizard things at night, keeping alert, protecting your little fleshlings. 1 second. Okay. From, let's say, 15 feet away, you hear an abnormal rustling of a bush. And you turn your head. At the last moment, you see something slither away.
Smell anything in the air that smells weird?
Actually, yes, you do. You smell something that smells absolutely wretched. It hadn't occurred to you before. Perhaps you were dozing off for a moment. Not dozing off. You weren't exactly as alert. It had been a peaceful watch to begin with. There seems to be a very foul odor about.
I'll sort of creep over to Ronark and rustle him awake.
Oh. Whoa. Oh. What is it? What is it? What is it? Damn it, what is it, Kothar? What happened?
Your voice is too loud. Speak softly.
Ooh, and Ronark immediately understands what he's saying, reaches for his mace that was, kind of positioned next to his bedroll.
Smell the air, Ronark. You smell.
And Ronark kind of lifts his face into the air, his nostrils flare. That is foul. Where is it?
Something lurks nearby. I wake you. You keep here. I check. This one will go.
Ronark stands up, and he just doesn't even say anything. He just kicks Ballister's, sleeping sack or sleeping in a bedroll. Kind of just kicks him with enough force to wake him up.
What in the blazes?
Quiet.
I'm gonna stalk
Some-
around to see if I can trace where the thing went, because I want to see what that was.
Something is here.
All right, so you're running off on your own.
Yeah, well, I'm not running, but you know, I'm kind of creeping through
Yeah.
the brush, trying to. Lizard
Give
mode is
me.
activated.
Yeah, give me a. Was it survival track things, right?
I think so. He's a badass.
Okay. You Well, they're waking up, and I'm assuming you're putting on your gear, Ronark. I don't assume you sleep in full armor.
No, yeah, I'm immediate. Well, when it's male, so it's flexible. I actually do sleep in my armor.
Ooh, look at you, Mr. Hardy.
Yeah. I just kind of curl up and just lie down like that. So I'm gathering my weapon and everything that I had on the side of my bedroll there.
All right, so while you work on getting Ballister up and ready, and maybe Hendrix if you want to wake him up, Kothar, you go towards where you had heard the rustling. The descent, for a moment, gets stronger. It's very vile, and then starts fading. You're able to follow that scent if you wish, but it seems to be going away from you.
I want to know what that was. I'm gonna follow it.
Okay. Can you guys move your tokens? I remember I did some.
Yes.
Yeah, I can move mine.
Yeah. You continue to follow it through some thicket and some trees. As you approach, you hear some flapping sounds up in the trees, while the what was your survivor? Sarvel's 20, yeah. You can see tracks of a bipedal creature and maybe something dragging behind it, moving away from you, and you hear flapping in the trees.
I freeze when I hear the flapping and look up to see what it is.
Do you have dark vision?
Let me take a look. That might be something I don't have. I don't.
I do.
Give me a perception with. Is it disadvantage? I think it's
Yeah.
disadvantage, right?
That's fine.
Doesn't matter. You see. Oh man. Let me pull it up.
The moonlight strikes the trees just enough for you to get a glimpse of.
Oh yeah. Look at you, caught in my back. Damn it. Right. I'm just gonna describe it. You see these two flesh-like. They don't appear to be birds. They're very fleshy looking. Small, quite small creatures perched in the trees. Well, one of them was perched. One of them was flapping, trying to get away. If I can just get the image, it'd be.
Do I recognize these creatures from previous experience?
You are an Outlander, right? Does that give you a bonus
I think
or something?
Outlander, all Outlander does is Wanderer. You can recall geography, terrain, settlements, other features around you. I guess if they count as small game, but I don't think, it doesn't sound like they're going to count as small game.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a small game. As far as you know, yeah, no. I'm gonna say you cannot identify what they are.
Do they see me?
They had originally seen you. That's why one of them was flying away, while the other one just seems to stare at you.
Look up at it and stare back. I'm just trying to get a sense of, because this is lizard brain mode. So right now it's going to be fight or flight. So I'm trying. Kothar is trying to get a sense of which one he should do at this point. So he's waiting to see this thing make a move.
Bam. This is what you see. You should see something.
Oh.
That's what you can make out from the moonlight. One of them, unless you're going to actively attack it, is content flying away. Very, very erratic movements as it flies. It seems difficult to do so.
Dude, I love these token boars.
Yeah, Kothar is just kind of waiting to see if he should run or not. This thing, he's confronted by something he doesn't understand, so he's trying to figure out what it is, why it's here, but he doesn't really know. So he's leaning more towards the flight aspect. So he's waiting to see any kind of movement from this, and he's probably just going to bolt back to the camp.
Okay, you bolt back to the camp. It doesn't seem to chase you. The other one flies off in the distance. As you draw closer to the camp, your ability to hear and smell that other creature fades. So from where you're at, you no longer know anything about it.
Why?
I'll come back and walk back into the camp, still looking where I came from.
What did you see, friend Golvar?
This one tracked the smell, but other creatures were there in the wood. I had not seen them before. This one was concerned they might attack.
Do we have any worries that we might not be able to sleep tonight?
This one cannot answer.
But then we shall continue our watches as we have planned.
This one has another hour. Then I will wake you.
Very well. Do not hesitate to wake me for anything. Not one moment.
And Kothar just looks at you and then gets back down to squatting down on the ground and looking around everywhere.
Okay. So we try and get back to sleep. Wait for him to finish watch, and then I'll take my watch.
Okay. So, Kothar, you're on high alert. Nothing appears out of the ordinary. You do your watch turnover.
Very well, then. I shall take the watch. 3 hours, and I will wake the two soft ones, and they shall take the final watch before we head off in the morn.
At least 2 pairs of soft one eyes better than 1. That is saying? Sort of question it.
Indeed, yes. Very good, Kothar, very good. And he just kind of chuckles at his somewhat joke.
And Kothar is gonna blank stare and then go curl up to go to sleep.
So Ronark is on duty now.
Yep. Give me that 1d12. Okay, 1 second. About maybe half an hour into your watch. You know, you guys couldn't really tell because it was dark, but apparently the clouds were growing darker, and it begins to rain a little bit.
So Ronark continues to stoke the fire as the sprinkles start coming down, as the rain starts coming down. He adds more wood. He starts moving the logs. He makes sure that the fire stays intact. He looks over the terrain. He looks around the encampment, and he makes sure that everyone who is sleeping under his protection right now is able to sleep without the fear of anything happening to them.
Okay. You know what? Just for the hell of it, give me a survival roll for that fire keeping. It's really low. I'm assuming you'll be fine.
Yes.
Oh, yo, you know, they say they told you when you were in the clergy, when you were learning how to be a cleric, they were like, this man, this half orc, he'll never learn how to keep a fire. They gave you sticks, you just couldn't, you know? Today, you prove them wrong. This is the most well-kept fire under rain that has ever existed ever.
That's right. And then Ronak, he sits there with the glow of the fire on his face. He sees his company, his friends, sleeping peacefully under his watch, and then he grins, a half grin, under the warmth of the blaze that he has created. Oi, this is good. This is very, very good.
All right. Other than that, the rest of your watch goes by. Nothing occurs. That stench does not reappear, although maybe the rain. The rain might have made it harder to track any tracks if you were looking to do that eventually. You know what I mean? Like rain in the mud.
Yes. I care not about whatever animals wander in these woods. I only care about this fire and these people.
Okay, so yeah. Your time's up. If you want to do your turnover with Ballister and Hendrix, you can.
And Ronark stands up after 3 hours. And he walks over to the two of them. And he just kind of kicks them both in their sides lightly. Boy, wake up. You wake up. The two of you. It's your turn.
Have you ever heard of the word gentle?
That was gentle. Pray you don't feel my ungentle tap.
Oh man, I would pray if I were you.
It's your turn, take watch.
Hold on. Do I get like some sort of stick or a sword?
You were born with hands, weren't you?
Yeah, so are you, but I see that long sword on your back.
I earned this
Ronark
sword.
Ronark looks at him. He looks up and down. He's like, "Oh, very well." And then he reaches down to his belt and he pulls off a bone mace and he hands it over and he says, "This here was made by a very good friend of mine. It was made for me. Do not dare destroy this mace. Don't do anything with this mace unless our lives are in danger. That is the only reason you should be using this mace for anything. You keep it next to you. But if you don't need to touch it, don't touch it." He hands it over to him.
Right. He takes it from you, looks it over, is like, is this bone? Oh my.
Oi, it's goblin bone.
Okay, well, thank you.
Now start your watch.
Roger that, sir. Right. You ready there, Alistair?
Ballister?
Yeah, he made a
Oh, okay.
That means
Indeed.
yes.
Okay, well, rest assured, as long as I have this. He swings with it.
Don't even swing with it unless you have to swing with it.
It's a pretty average swing.
I don't want you swinging with it. I don't want you tossing it. I don't want you even really touching it, but unfortunately you have to. So please, take the watch, stop swinging my mace, and do what you need to do. I've got to get some sleep. Good night.
Yep. You head to sleep. So now it's Hendrix and Ballister. So, how you want to do this?
You mean keeping watch? Well, I suppose you'll take one side and I'll take the other.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess that would make sense. I was thinking maybe, I get an hour and a half of watch, you get an hour and a half of watch, eh? Quid pro quo, eh?
No,
This
I'd
fucker.
rather not. You take half, I take half.
Oh, but
Of the
wait!
even.
You know what they say, you need rest to grow up big and strong, and you're a little on the short side.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, how about you take the full shift and I rest?
That sounds like a terrible idea. Let's be real here.
Then shut up and do your job. And then we'll be fine.
You know what? I've had it to here with you. He goes up to his side and stands his watch. Give me a 1d12, unless you want to do anything else before that.
No, I think I broke his dignity enough.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. So you hear in the trees. Yeah, you hear it. Don't worry about it. You hear feathers, not feathers. Sorry. You hear the flapping of wings. However, when you look up, it just appears to be crows or ravens. You can't exactly tell in the dark. Definitely. I mean, you can take caution if you want, but it appears to be a normal animal.
Ravens. Never a good sign to see ravens.
You say something! He calls from across, but not too loudly. He doesn't want to wake everyone up.
No, I didn't say anything. Just go back to watching your side of the camp, please.
It's been about an hour and a half through your watch. Like, it's kind of boring over here. You want to switch sides?
Fine.
Yeah, you guys switch sides, and if that's all, is that it?
I guess that's it.
Yeah, okay. It is now morning. Nothing other than that little spook with the unidentifiable flying things seems to have occurred last night. The rain actually picked up a bit. If I could just...
Well, I hope your 2 watches were uneventful last night. Talking to Ballister.
It was, except for a murder of crows and ravens.
Crows and ravens.
Yes, a
Well,
murder.
that's a bad omen.
That's what I said.
We shall keep our eyes open, especially as we enter the town of Orlean. Ravens. Oh, bad omen indeed.
It's Orlane, not Orlean. This isn't France.
For what?
Are you telling me how to pronounce anything? How dare you? Simply because my dialect is different from yours, you try and correct me. I don't try and correct you.
That was out of character.
Hey man, it could be in character.
It could be, but I don't think France exists.
It might.
Yeah, well, maybe.
It's Orlean as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why you try and keep correcting me. We are headed to the town of Orlean.
I simply believe that people like it when you pronounce words the proper way.
And how would they like their name pronounced?
Or Lane.
Orlane.
Lane. Yes.
Orlane. Orlane.
That's the way it should be pronounced. Not Orlean. We're not talking about the dietary and nutritious value of chicken.
Orlane. Very well. Orlane it shall be then.
This,
Let's be off.
this one thinks we should continue the conversation about chicken.
Well, my family always had us eat chicken because they said that it's healthier than cow. Of course, I believe that's just superstitious nonsense. Red meat is just as healthy as any other meat, I say.
You eat cow? That's disgusting.
Excuse me? Did you just say that I'm disgusting?
Did you just say eating cow is disgusting?
Well, yeah. That was a different accent. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What,
Smorgasbord.
what do you do when a cow is so old it can no longer produce milk? Or a bull that has broken one of its legs?
That's a very good question. What do you do with those bovine in those instances?
Oh, well, you know, we, he sort of looks to the side. He's like, I don't know. I just assume they die, right? And then it becomes a tree eventually.
Leaving all that tasty meat to go to waste.
I doubt it. They're eaten. That's what happens. They're eaten. Let's be off now. Enough of this cumbersome conversation. Those cows are eaten and we all know it. So let's not pretend otherwise.
Do you, take the thing back from him? The weapon?
Oh, goddamn, give me my bone mace back.
Oh, come on. I was getting real good with it. Practice all night. I mean,
You practiced all night, eh? I told you not to swing the thing. And you did, eh?
in me mind's eye. I was practicing in me eye.
I
Just visualized it.
I don't believe a goddamn word you're saying.
The eyeball
Give
cannot
it back to
practice. The eyeball does not have hands.
Very true, Kothar. Very true. Give it back. It is time. Maybe on the next watch, I'll let you handle it again.
All right. Dejectedly, he hands it back.
And I attach it to my belt, and we're off.
You are off. Eventually, the rain clears up. All right. So, after a nice, maybe half days of travel, you finally you see a post in the middle of the road. It says, Orlane. You have arrived. In the distance, you can see various buildings, farmhouses, and animals about. Even further still, not quite within your vision range, you see the actual town of Orlane. A little bit further down the road, you come across the first farm of Orlane. You can see that there's a figure that seems to be hunched over, making some sort of motion. You assume churning. Are you guys just walking in normally? You're just traveling, right?
Yeah, we're just walking right into town.
Yeah. So she gets a good look at you. You see the figure turn and then drops what they were doing and heads into the house.
Well, I think they might be just a little timid about our arrival. Let's go
Or
ahead.
it may be the giant lizard.
I doubt it's a lizard.
This one is
Lizard
no
is-
bigger than the rest of his kin.
He is the same size as me.
It doesn't have much to do with size.
We are just walking. We are not monsters. They have seen our type before, I am sure of it. Let's make our way to the center of town where we can get some answers.
Right, so you start moving forward, and out from the farmhouse comes an elderly man who he sort of starts to approach it and stops midway. And is just glaring at you the entire way. You gonna keep continuing forward? You want to chat with him up, or
No, I see his glare and I just walk past him, continuing to the center of the town.
I'll just stare back at him the whole time because I don't understand the concept of malice. So
okay? So at this point, you guys reach sort of a. You guys reach where would it's not a gate, you know, it's like towards the entrance, like the official entrance of the town of Orlane from this end. Hendrix turns, is like, right, well, thank you for the company. It was very good. But I suppose our agreement has been fulfilled. I gave you information. You guided me here. I will head on my way.
Stop! Who is it in this town we need to talk to? You just tell me right now, who is it we need to talk to?
About what exactly?
About the going-ons, about... You said yourself that there was weirdness about...
Hey, oi, keep that quiet. You didn't hear that from me, okay? Just, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you don't want me to blast your name all over every tavern in this town, you just tell me now who I need to talk to.
He sort of looks down for a second, like, right, how do you even know that's my real name?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
All right,
once I
you
start-
call a good bluff.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, he sort of walks back out of town. He's like, come here over. He walks over towards a tree.
I walk over with him.
Right, so you didn't hear this from me, yeah? In fact, we never even saw each other, so once we part ways, good on you. Don't drink the water, remember that. If you wanted to know what's going on, I'd say you have a couple of good options, yeah? You can talk to the mayor of Orlane. I forget her name, but her building is in... No, that's not the right word. You can definitely tell that a mayor lives there, if you catch my drift.
Boy. And the mayor's husband. He's gone, isn't he?
As far as I last heard.
All right. Where is this mayor?
He points towards... Oh, did I take you to the page? Yeah.
Yep, you did. Yep.
This is the town of Orlane. He points towards a very distinct building. It's very large, larger than most of the other settlements. And you'd be like, that's where she resides. However, that's not your only choice, right? People who would know. Well, if you go to the Temple of America, I'm sure the High Priestess would tell you anything. She's been here quite some time. And then maybe, the Golden Grain Inn. Yeah, it's been here much longer than that other summer and whatever. I'm sure news travels. Everyone walks in and out of this town, probably stays at that inn unless they live there.
Very well, then. We shall be off. We will talk to the mayor, or what's left there.
Right. Well, you never met me. America guide you. Bye.
Be off with you, then. Goodbye.
Anyone else? Is that it, or?
no, I'm just Kothar's just looking at sheep.
Oh yeah, you see some delicious looking sheep. Are you interested in attacking and eating them?
I'm internally debating because Kothar remembers what Ronark said to him, that the chicken wasn't his to take. So now, even though he sees these sheep in the wild, Kothar's having second guesses because the way that the soft ones determine ownership over things is strange and abstract to him. So he's kind of 50-50. Part of him wants to go tear a sheep up, the other part of him's like, well, what if this isn't my sheep to eat? It's an internal struggle.
And then Ronark notices Kothar kind of glancing back and forth and looking at the sheep and kind of his head, the way his head moves with the sheep movement at the same time, sees him kind of stalking them in his mind's eye. Kothar, these are not your sheep. These are not yours to eat. They are not wild. These belong to this town. Therefore, you leave the sheep alone.
If a lizard could look sad, Kothar would look sad, but he kind of blinks and snaps out of the predatorial tracking, and this one understands.
We will purchase something that you can eat, but the sheep, not of your own attacking, of your own will. Maybe someone shall sell us a sheep for a good price, and then you may feast.
This one would like a sheep.
Oi. Lamb is the best. So we make our way into town.
Right, so now it's towards the end of the day. You guys managed to make it here before dawn? Yeah. So it's kind of late. You want to go straight to the mayor's, or you can also camp outside. It's up to you, really. You can either go forward to the mayor, explore the town, go to the inn, camp. Hendrix
So-
has already left.
Oi, little one. What is it you would like us to do? Do you want to go in and camp? Or do you want to stay outside of town where we could save our coin?
I'd actually like to see the slumbering serpent. It seems to be one of the centers of all the odd events happening in this village.
Oi, I had the same idea. We're on the same page there, little one. I
Except
like the way you think.
we may be on the same page, but I'm reading at a faster pace.
Well, the fact is, I understood that as an insult. Do not undermine me.
Fine, it was a test and your intellect passed. I promise. No more subtle insults.
Very well, let's be off. And then we're gonna make our way over to where's my hand? To the slumbering serpent. Because
Okay.
we were told about the slumbering serpent. So we're gonna go there.
Ballsy.
So walking through town, you can can't help but notice that occasionally villagers shut their blinds and their shutters, or they try their best to walk around you, not to make eye contact.
I look at all of them.
You pass by the first, the grain inn, the line grain inn. You pass by the constable's office. You pass by a blacksmith. Deep into the town, you walk towards. Actually, do you guys even know where the slumbering the snake is?
Okay.
Or you just
Ask
walking
somebody
around blindly?
passing by.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna ask anyone passing by. Oi, where's the slumbering serpent?
Right, so occasionally, after a couple of tries, you manage to get someone. You sort of like entrap him, you know? You like go around
I
him so
stand
he
in
can't
front
exactly
of him,
walk around you.
basically. And then continue to match his movements until he...
It's a small town. Someone's got to know.
Look. Yeah, it's a very middle-aged man. It's a human. I don't want any trouble, okay? What, you said what? What do you want from me?
It's just a question. We're not gonna hurt you. I just need to know where the slumbering serpent is. You tell us that, we'll be off.
Oh man, why would you even? He looks down. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna inquire. He gives you some directions. He's like, so you cross the bridge. There's a couple huts, and you walk by. It should be a second on the left. So he gives you directions that you should easily be able to follow.
And we do?
Don't say you got that from me, okay? Just, I'm good to go, Ram. I can.
I would
And we just completely ignore him and start walking off.
stand in front of him, just sniff him a bit, and then walk by him.
That's awesome.
Right. So easily enough, following the man's directions as he skitters off and away, you're able to come across the slumbering snake inn. Displayed on their front is an image of a snake with its head cut off, appearing to sleep forever. You can hear on the inside many people, apparently. You can't exactly discern how many, but it seems to be very active. And we will stop for now.
Oh!
Oh.
No way! I'm ready to keep going. Dude, you've got a good story going
Yeah.
here.
Oh, man.
All right, no. Don't listen to my bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That's all I got for today,
Alright.
boys.
Stop the recording.